Hello and welcome to this yet another episode of DWN Productions THC podcast, sponsored by Fast Custom Shirts here at BOYGOB.com and the BOYGOB YouTube page. On this episode, we find out how many hot dogs Joe can eat, but we'll get to that a little later. Joe,
Mm.
how was your week?
How many hot dogs do you got with you?
We'll get to that.
Uh, how was the week? I guess it was quiet. I don't know. Stayed busy. Went and did a outdoor market that nobody showed up to. So I didn't really make any money at that. But it was cold, so there was the benefit of that. And that's it. Just worked, came home, worked, came home. 5 days in a row.
Hmm. Some people do that 6 or 7.
Yeah, I used to do that, but nah, not no more. Fuck that.
Did you smarten up?
Maybe. No, because I still have my own business. So, no, I didn't smarten up at all.
I understand. Ah, shit. Well,
How
yeah,
about
I'm
yourself,
trying
old
to.
Tom?
The only thing worth a fuck I did this week, I think, was go to the old museum. I think it's called the Museum of Natural Science, I want to say.
Yeah, that's the old one. The new one's something else.
I have no fucking idea. I think it's called the Toy Museum, the new one.
Right. Yes.
Anyways, we went out to dinner with Corey and Johnny a few nights before, and the fucking conversation of Lori wanting to go to Egypt and me never ever ever going to go to Egypt, because being an American and all, that's probably not the best thing to do. And plus, flying over all that water, whew, that's fucked right there.
Yeah, and
But
you're real particular on food and shit, so you would definitely not enjoy yourself in a place like Egypt.
well, they may have euros there. I just don't know.
I don't think they would be the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They might have a McDonald's though, see what the old Egyptian McDonald's is all about.
See what they have in their Happy Meals.
Yeah. Oh, look. I've got a locust.
Uh,
Terrific.
Scarab.
Mm. So it just got brought up that they got this King Tut exhibit at the museum. And I was like, "Oh, that's great, Lori. We can go to Egypt. Perfect." So we all gathered up Friday and went to the old museum. $30 for parking. Fucking crazy. Luckily I drove, so Corey paid for that. Thank you. And then it was $35 a ticket, which I thought was kinda it seems a little high, but this is a special exhibit, so I understand. And it's timed out, so you have to go walk through this thing at a certain time. So we get up there, and lady's like, "Hey, all right," and fucking go in there, whatever. So we just walk in there like, "All right." And it's set up like they got these fake Egyptian rocks all around. You ever seen an Egyptian rock before, Joe?
I don't know what Egyptian rocks are, how different they
It
are
looks
from American.
like any other kind of rock in the desert.
Hmm.
But these were Egyptian. So there's like a video playing on a projector. Hey, here's some information about King Tut. And if you look over there, there's some like pots buried in the sand, but it's all just a facade. It's actually molded, and they put pots in there, and it's not real sand. And hey, go look over there. There's a video about the guy who found King Tut. Can you believe it? And then we walk down this little corridor, and it's all lit like kind of spooky and eerie to give you the feeling of like, oh, I'm walking through King Tut's tomb. Ooh. And then you walk through there and there's like some statues and some junk. Maybe the old junk was real. I don't know. But most of the shit in this, if not all of the shit in this, was just fake replicas, nothing fucking real from Egypt. So we go through, oh, here's some little magical bricks, they called them. And it's like, hey, this is a sarcophagus, like layers of a sarcophagus. It's like a Russian nesting doll. Everybody who walked by was like, oh, I didn't know it was like that. I thought it was just one. Tee-hee. Oh, you think? You think that's maybe why they thought that would be a good part of the exhibit? And then you walk through and then you see like full scale replicas of fucking the sarcophaguses. And then there's fucking like King Tut's a replica of his costume or whatever the fuck. And then there's a picture of Steve Martin's like, oh, Tutankhamun Mania was crazy. I can't believe it. And that was it. I felt like I got my butt fucked hard.
So what do we know about this King Tut guy?
He was like 19, ruled for 10 years or something, and then was killed or something, maybe.
Was he a bitch?
Yeah, he was a I don't want to say yeah because he was a little guy because that would assume that, I'm not trying to talk shit or anything, but they were a lot slighter in those days, and I just didn't give a fuck. Like the only thing that was real in this shit was like the old junk, if that. Like, oh, it's an old pot. Oh, cool. Look at this old wheel. But I'm sure that was probably all bullshit too. And it was fucking really nothing. Nothing to this fucking thing. And Lori enjoyed it. That was like good. I'm glad for that. That's the most important thing. But yeah, like after I figured out like, wait, what? This is it? I found a bench and just sat down and just let them walk around because there's a sign. It's like, hey, no re-entry beyond this point. And then that's how I knew. Oh fuck, that was it. Jesus Christ. So I didn't want to rain on any parades, so I just sat down and they walked around for 20, 30 minutes. How? I don't know. I like kind of looked at this shit and was like, yep, okay, that's it. So then it exits into a fucking gift shop.
Of course.
Jesus Christ.
Did you get like a King Tutankhamun magnet?
Lori got a sweatshirt and a statue. And then we went and saw the exhibits in the old museum.
Exhibit. Hell yeah.
So they actually had like an Egyptian permanent exhibit,
Mhm.
and that had like real Egyptian shit from the old Egyptian days. The regular stuff in the fucking museum, not the special limited attraction.
Yeah.
So they had like a mummy, a mummified cat, some more fucking old pots and shit. And I just kind of look at it and it's like, oh, great. Like all this shit's lost on me. It's just like I can just go on the fucking internet and see pictures or videos of this shit. Like I fucking
But
like,
you won't.
yeah, because I don't give a fuck.
Right.
So, just walking around letting Lori and Corey and Johnny do their thing and all that shit. And then we go and it's like, oh, here's a wildlife exhibit. Here's some fucking Indian people. And then fucking animals and shit. Oh, terrific. Hey, look, there's some fucking dinosaur skeletons. After seeing the Tutankhamun shit in my head, I was like, yeah, those are probably fucking fake. And then fucking we went up and there like the fourth level was all like energy and shit. And there was two real shitty rides, if you want to call them that. One was like you stand and oh, this is how fucking you're gonna see what a drill bit sees when you go down drilling and shit. And then you're gonna go back to Jurassic times and it moves very slightly, not really at all. And then there's one you get in and it's pretty much the same fucking thing and it moves just a little more. So we're fucking walking around this place. Corey may or may not be hitting his fucking, you know, vaporizer thing in the museum. And I'm just looking around and I see something out of the corner of my eye and I'm immediately drawn to it because I know exactly what the fuck it is. And I have never seen this shit anywhere in my fucking life. But sitting there, Joe, was this. So I took it because that's what it was put there for.
Right.
There couldn't have been a better person than me to find this thing,
Sinner,
Joe.
sure, in need of salvation.
So I mean that gave me a good chuckle. And then they went and sat by or they went and walked through the Hall of Gems or whatever, and I didn't give a fuck about that shit. So after that, we have to exit through yet another gift shop. And Lori bought yet another statue. But you know, if she liked the shit and that's her Egypt, then fucking fine. If you want to spend $200 on museum gift shop stuff, then more power to you. And then I thought, hey, you know what? I always see where I used to see when I went to these gift shops, they had those STD plushies. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go pick up a fucking syphilis plushie because I heard it was on the rise with newborns. So I wanted to raise awareness. You ever seen these things before, Joe?
No, no idea what you're talking about.
They were like little beanie baby sized plushy things and they were sexually transmitted diseases and viruses. It was the damnedest fucking thing.
They're like
But
what in
they
the shape of the virus, or
say that again.
are they in like the shape of the virus?
Yeah, or just I mean, I never looked up what a fucking AIDS cell looks like or anything. So I mean it just has a tag like this is syphilis with some like information on it. But sadly, they did not sell those at this museum anymore because I guess the times are a changing.
They are.
But then I thought, hey, you know what? I bet they got space food. I always wanted to try that fucking bullshit.
Some ice cream.
Yeah,
Some
that is the only thing they had was the fucking mint chocolate chip ice cream sandwich. So I go up to the register and I'm like, all right, I'll just take this one ice cream sandwich, please. And I said, all right, that'll be $7.94. So, oh my God. But that was in my head. I just no sold it like, oh yeah, that's a fair price. And I immediately thought, well, I'm saving this receipt and saving this ice cream sandwich for the podcast so I can write it off, you see. So, Joe, now we're going to try a little space food. I can't wait. This is the first time having this. So, we'll see. And so, you know, I'm not full of shit. There's the price there. So, here we go. Oh, it's wrapped up in like some kind of paper. Well, I guess like the ice cream sandwiches would be, and this is like broken in half and all fucked up. I don't know if you can see that shit.
That wouldn't happen in space because there's no gravity. You see.
Oh shit. I didn't. All right, so there's half of the fucking thing. It's supposed to be mint chocolate chip. The shit looks white. I did look at the expiration date. We're good for a few years. Have you had this shit before?
A long fucking time ago, and I was a kid, and I didn't like it then. You know, kids like anything that's fucking sweets or whatever. You know.
Well, I'm gonna smell it and then let you know what it smells like, and then bottoms up, fat boy.
All right.
It smells like I shouldn't fucking eat it. That's what the fuck it smells like. Now it doesn't smell like anything. It was
Paper.
faint. It smelled like some kind of cream cheese bagel thing, but now it just smells like maybe shitty stale popcorn. I don't know. Here we go, dude.
Crunchy. Mmm. Got any water there, Tom?
Yeah, but I'm gonna. Oh,
And just think, Tom, see, this stuff is all Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong had to eat when they went to space.
I was looking shit up. Oh fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna drink some water now. God fucking damn. Oh fuck. It's hard to describe what it tastes like. Like it tastes like it smells like you shouldn't fucking eat it. But I was looking up to see if there was any other kind of space food on old Amazon just to like, try the other shit since they just had the ice cream. And the only other thing I could find was like pizza and fries and like squeeze tubes. I don't know about that. This shit was fucked. Would not recommend. I'm gonna take no, I'm not. We already saw my face when I fucking ate it. Ain't gonna get any better than that shit. So yeah, fuck a space food. If you're an astronaut, you're fucking dumb.
Right, we don't need you running into the shitter in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah, dude, this is oh fuck. It's fucked. It's fucked.
Money well
Oh. Yeah, I guess. We got laughs out of it, so there's that. But man, that was fucking pretty bad. I wanted to say, like, while I was eating it, it was kind of like, oh yeah, I mean, it got a little better as you ate it, and then immediately in my head, I was like, no, it doesn't. Just hurry up and finish that bite. It's the only one you got to take. Yeah, that was fucked. Gross. Ugh. Should grab a beer now. I'm gonna go do that. I deserve it.
All right.
Sorry. Then I'm gonna throw this fucking shit away.
So that's what base ice cream will do for you. It'll send you running for beer, or well, yeah, beer. I guess that's what he went to go get. But anyway, thanks all of y'all for joining us once again. You can help us out by spreading the word about this lovely podcast and hitting that like button if you want. If not, I mean, I don't really care. I don't follow the numbers all that much, except when he points something out. Hey, this is getting a lot of views, but he doesn't point that out very often because that doesn't really happen very often. But holy shit, do we have a hell of a show for you today? No, we don't. It's just kind of like every other show that we do. We already did the preliminaries, except that, that was a little bonus there. Tom eating the iced cream. But now he's back, and we're going to get back to the of this show, the stuff that you guys know and love. We're going to talk movies, we're going to talk Spider-Mans, and then we're going to rattle off a list. Welcome back, Tom.
Thank you. I did look at that shit before I threw it away, and the ice cream part is in fact green, not white. So that's at least comforting, I guess.
Color.
Here's to me. So, Joe, what'd you watch?
Tom, Tuesday Night Trash at the Texas Theater was showing one of my favorite Wings Hauser films, and that's The Art of Dying, which they announced that they'd be showing it, and then they realized, hey, wait a minute, we don't have a copy of this. And they thought, well, let's go ahead and just get on the old eBay and get a copy. Well, they're very hard to come by, it seems, and the ones that you can come by, they're like 60 to 80 bucks. So they called old Joe. Hey, Joe, would you happen to have a copy of this? Yes, I do. So
It's weird because they showed this before about a year ago.
they did. Back then, you know what they did? They borrowed my copy. So yeah, history repeats itself, and
Well, let me ask you this. Why didn't they pick a different Wings Hauser movie?
they were going to, and I think like that's why I had asked you, what's the other one that he directed that I always forget the name of? Dying to Live, I think, right?
Something like that. There's one that I just fucking watched a couple months ago where he's like an ex-cop in Las Vegas working for some mob guy. And then there's Cold Fire, which is fucking awesome. And then there's one I've been sitting on that I'm probably gonna watch when I get holiday drunk, called Gang Boys, aka Skins. And he reunites with Linda Blair in this one, and his son Cole Hauser is in it. And I think he plays like a gay Nazi kid or some shit. So it'll be something. But Wings Hauser, he did like directed, when I say did, 4 p.m. entertainment movies that he
Okay.
got to direct and star in. And I don't know much about the company, but why the fuck aren't these on Blu-ray yet?
Yeah, that's because Dying to Live, I think is. I think Vinegar Syndrome put that one out, and its poster art looks just like Art of Dying.
They did Mind, Body, and Soul. That was a partner label one. They have the fucking really shit one. Tough Guys Don't Dance,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Champagne and Bullets,
Right. Okay.
Pale Blood, and there might be one more in there.
Mm.
But I don't think they have any of the PM entertainment ones. Because if they did, then I'd figure they'd have the rights to the other three since it's the same company, you see.
Well, I remember wanting to see just about every movie because there was a whole trailer thing. There was like 8 or 9 trailers on this DVD, and I wanted to see every one of those fucking movies. They looked awful, all of them. There was one just about a wet T-shirt contest. I gotta watch that. Uh,
Well,
so
look up PM Entertainment and see what these movies were. And hey, maybe on your next pick, we'll see if we can find some good old. I mean, I have the Wings Hauser one, so that's not a problem there. But we're talking about Art of Dying now. So what's the fucking point? We'll only have 3 movies to watch.
yeah, that's true. Okay, so The Art of Dying. Tom reviewed this one maybe a year ago or so. I've seen it before, and I like it. It's probably one of the best things that Wings Hauser was in, and of course he's in the director's chair, and he's a cop, Tom, and got a African American woman as his partner, and the movie starts out they're responding to a domestic call. There's some yelling going on in an apartment. They go in there, the guy starts getting a little rough with everybody, the woman stabs the black partner, and
Yeah,
Wings.
because it's fucked up. Like they go in there to save the lady from getting her ass beat. She's like, "Don't you touch him!" Like it was strange thing about the Johnsons, and then she runs after fucking him.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. They're there to help her.
It's pretty realistic though. That probably happens quite a bit. But Wings ain't putting up with no shit, so he throws her out the window. And they're on like maybe the 5th, 6th floor. I don't know how big this building is, but it's pretty fucking funny. And meanwhile, out in Hollywood land, you got this guy that I guess owns an old theater, an abandoned theater or something, and he's holding auditions for people. And he's having them do things like the scene in The Deer Hunter where they're playing Russian roulette. He has a guy there reenacting that whole scene, except there's bullets in the gun, Tom, and he really shoots himself, and the guy's all filming it. See, he's a serial killer's, but he feels a death scene is the true art, but it's only true if it's true, you know, if it's real, the real deal, Tom. So, sure, Wings Hauser's, he's, hard nosed cop, but he's also got a heart, Tom, because he's out saving girls, girls that are being preyed upon by all these vile Hollywood, whatever the fuck, producers, agents. Really, what they're doing is taking them out there, throwing them on some pornos, putting them out on the streets like the whores they are. And yeah, it's not good. So he tries to, get them back, get them sent back to Alabama or wherever the fuck they came from. But well, shit. Some of the girls he tried to help are ended up dead, Tom. Ended up dead because of this serial killers. And in the meantime, old Wings Hauser, we find out he's got a relationship with Kathleen Kilmont, something like that. I always forget her last name, but she was hooked up with Lorenzo Lamas for a long time. So I'm sure she knows some martial arts, But anyway, even if she doesn't, one thing she does know how to do is show off her tits, which she does a lot in this movie. And old Wings pours milk on those tits, and has a pretty bizarre sex scene, and he just makes a mess with whatever fucking groceries are nearby as they're fucking on the counter.
This would
Pretty
be a good time to remind everybody that Wings Hauser directed this movie.
did. He did. Uh, Yeah, the bad guy, he's funny. He's got like a henchman that I think he's in love with. I think they have a relationship, and that dude's funny. And Wings Hauser is funny. And I don't know that he was going for funny, but it's funny, and I recommend this movie. It's just it's over the top bullshit, man. It's just, it's not quality art or anything, but he is trying to make a statement, about Hollywood art and all that shit in there, but it's just it's so fucking funny. It's just I dig it. I recommend it.
Yeah, I don't remember a whole hell of a lot about it because this is the one or this I watched this around the time when I was watching like fucking 8 Wings Hauser movies a week. So they all kind of melded together. But I do remember it starting out with him and the black lady. They're like fucking partner cops and shit. And then she gets hurt and she's out of the rest of the movie. If
Hmm.
we had it where it was fucking Wings Hauser and this sassy black lady, that would have been fucking awesome. I want to see that movie, damn it. But
Yeah.
I remember this one being fun, but
Instead, he's got like some other guy that works with him at the police station that he's a like a short, older, goofy guy, goofy looking dude that he's in a lot of movies. And one of the chick from Superman 2 that was like one of the evil fucking Kryptonians or whatever the fuck. Uh, but he does have like an angry police chief that's always yelling, angry black police chief that's yelling at him all the time. That's pretty good shit. Yeah. Yeah, Art of Dying, I think is it streaming anywhere?
I would say if it is, it's on Tubi. But then again, it's the whole PM entertainment thing. So if it was streaming, why wouldn't it be on
Right.
Blu-ray?
I would check YouTube. Somebody's probably put it up on there. But yeah, definitely if you get a chance or you find it anywhere, give it a watch.
It is out there if you want to watch it. We'll just say that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, old Joseph there, bud. Thinking of being out there, I just watched a movie tonight called Dick's the Musical. Fuck. All right. I was supposed to say, hey, Joe, how many hot dogs do you think you could eat?
Is it timed?
No. I mean, just in one sitting. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to sit at this table for 7 hours and just eat a hot dog every 30 minutes or so.
Uh, I mean, like in one sitting, just like if I'm having a meal, I could probably do four, and that includes, with a shitload of chili and cheese on them.
That's it?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, Joe, I think I could do a 24 pack of hot dogs.
Hmm.
You see.
I get it.
Yes, thank you. Because I just watched this hit new motion picture called
Do
Dick's.
four.
So Dick's the Musical, the new A24 movie. It's about two identical twin brothers, wink, who were separated at birth, and they come together because the companies they work. Oh yeah, we'll get to that. Because the companies they work for are merging, so one from uptown and one from downtown, they all have to come to this new building and work. So they figure everything out, find that they're fucking brothers. So they say, you know what? Let's get mom and dad back together. So the movie is them trying to, get their parents married again so they can be a family, Joe.
So this is the Parent Trap.
Sort of, but they are much older and much more vulgar. So it starts out with a text on the screen that says this movie was written by the first gay people to ever write anything, and they are also starring in this movie as heterosexuals. So the gimmick of the movie, which is a musical, is all right. Pretend it's written by these gay dudes who's actually starring in the movie as well, but they're playing straight guys. And it is very funny because it is just ridiculous as shit, fucking vulgar. Uh yeah, it's just fucking wild, silly shit. It's by the dude who made a Borat, so that can give you an idea of, yeah, okay, if he did that, I'm assuming this would be some ridiculous, silly shit. But I laughed and laughed and laughed. There's some spots where I was just cold and I was like, well, this kind of sucked. But that was maybe like two scenes, like Megan the Stallion, she's a character in it and she has a musical number. I was like, well, this kind of sucks, but her shit isn't for me. And there's one where like the mom's first scene, she just comes off like she's trying way too fucking hard, and then after that, it seems like she kind of went into it and all that. But shit's fucking wild. It's got fucking your boy, old Mousetrap himself, Nathan Lane, in it. Uh, shit's crazy. There's fucking little puppet creatures and shit in it. I don't want to say a whole hell of a lot, but it's worth checking out. I know you're an enemy of fun, and the comedy you like is very unique, but maybe this is this is not everybody's gonna like this shit for sure. It comes off kind of like a South Park clone. One of the guys talks like a South Park character, but man, it's just silly as shit, and I fucking like laughed hard and loud a fucking lot. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to give a whole lot away, just so you can fucking, not you, but the collective you can just go out there and fucking laugh or just be confused like what the fuck. But I would highly, highly recommend this shit for sure. Good stuff.
Hmm.
Might
Yeah.
be my favorite A24 movie, Joe.
Well, you watch them all, Tom. I mean,
Not all of them.
about 'em, but you watched the A24 the night before your wedding. You know,
And I
uh,
am wearing a black shirt.
you are. Well, Tom, I got a little burnout of 2023, so I decided, hey, let me go back to watching some of the DVDs in the old collection and see what's gonna stay and what's gonna go. And I pulled out the one that you reviewed recently, or I don't know, maybe a year ago, 5 years ago. I don't know. This is called Triangle, Tom. Terror comes in waves. It says because it's being promoted as a horror film, Tom.
Is this an IFC or a Magnolia?
See, it seems like it would be, but no, it's media something. I don't fucking know.
Blasters. Pew, pew.
Uh, no, but I thought, yeah, for sure that it was like Magnet or something like that. What the fuck's that say? First Look Studios is what it is.
I've heard of them before, but I can't think of. I want maybe the Aristocrats. I don't know. Probably not.
So this lady's going on a boat trip with some friends, and
Not that kind of boat trip.
she's acting kind of wonky, and and they're sailing along and whatever, and the storm comes out of nowhere, Tom. A storm, and it capsizes the boat, and they're just floating around for a while, and then another big luxury liner pulls up beside them, and they get up in that, and there's nobody in there, Tom. There's nobody. They cruise around, check the boat out. Wait a minute, we saw somebody. There's somebody running. They chase after him, and then somebody starts shooting at them. Somebody wearing a mask shooting at them. The girl runs off by herself. She's like, man, I got all this fucking deja vu and stuff, and then turns out, Tom, that the person shooting at them is her, because she figures out we're in a time warp. We got to do this time warp again and again and again, because it's the only way to get off the boat is every time all of them die except for her, it restarts, Tom, and they come back, and she figures, well, if I can get back on or tell everybody to stay on the boat, I don't know, but that doesn't work out. But somehow she gets off the fucking boat, goes back to the house, and we learn she's just a bitch. You know, they're beating on her retarded kid, and that's not nice, Tom. They got it bad enough, being retarded. They don't need to beat on them, no matter how annoying they can be. That's not right, and I don't condone that. Uh, and then she takes off with her son, and she figures that looking around at shit, hey, wait a minute, maybe I'm still in this time warp. She wrecks her car, and her kid dies. How she didn't die, I have no idea, because she was in that car and it fucking flipped over and everything. So she goes back and gets on that boat again, Tom, and starts the boat trip all over, and it's a circle. This whole movie is a circle because she's trapped in this time warp, you see, this time flux, this continuum that keeps on starting over and over and over. They're not that big, Red. They just, I guess, enhanced. She's all squeezed together in the movie, but no, they're not, they're probably nice, but I don't know.
It's weird you're saying this movie. It's a time loop that just goes in a circle when the motherfucker's called Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of the Bermuda Triangle, you see.
Bermuda Triangle, yeah. And are they in Bermuda? No, but there's some shit on it that hasn't aged. I do like the film. I remember Tom not liking it. Definitely not for him. He doesn't like ideas and
What are you doing over there, boy? Thinking?
yeah. Oh. Um, but like, there's some scenes like when the boat is capsized. You can tell that they're in a pool. Yeah.
Since I don't have an intelligent thought in my head, Joe, you want to explain to me what capsize means, you piece of shit?
Biggest size you can caps out at that. So now you know. There's a lot of it that you can tell, hey, this was done on a green screen, or I think they called it blue screen back then. But yeah, Aside from that, though, I do like the flick. I think it's I think it's clever, Tom. Cool.
I think it's cheeky and for the birds, mate.
There are quite a few birds, seagulls in the film. Um, they come to a horrific end. One of them does over and over and over again because it's a time loop. You see, Tom, that they're trapped in. You know,
I remember the scene in the theater being all right. That had some good gore in it, if I remember.
yeah, they shoot like 3 people in that scene.
No, I was talking about the one with Lincoln.
Oh, Lincoln joke.
Sorry, I know that was too soon. It was a scene, though. Brains everywhere. And pieces of the stupidest hat you've ever seen just falling down from the air like snow on Christmas Day. But it wasn't. It was a tragic day, Joe.
Jay reviewed Time Cop last year or earlier this year.
Go through there's a whole playlist for the Jean-Claude Van Damme-a-thon.
Hmm.
If you're looking for Jean-Claude Van Damme shit, it's there. Except the first one, because I can't find that fucking episode anywhere. Joe,
Yeah.
trying to remember what the fuck Joe, I watched The Outlaw Johnny Black. Have you ever heard of this?
Yes.
That's nice. What, maybe about 5 years when the proof of concept thing hit the internet and they were saying, "Oh, please give me money to make this movie, please."
Maybe. I mean, I don't remember when I heard of it or whatever, but I never watched Black Dynamite, so I could give a shit about this one.
You keep showing your fucking racism again. The Belly review and now this. Jesus fucking Christ. Say Nas' name right, Joe. Please.
As
So this is, I guess, a follow-up to Black Dynamite, but not really.
I
It's
heard,
just, excuse me?
I've heard of that one too.
That one's pretty good. It had an animated series, too. So Michael Jai White stars as Outlaw Johnny Black, and he also directs this one. He's a dude who used to be a kid who used to have a father, but his father was killed by some honky on a fucking horse, because this is the old West, you see. And now he's grown up to be a man trying to get revenge for this guy. He Some bullshit happens. He's out in the fucking desert. Some preacher's like, "Hey, I'm gonna fucking help you." And he says, "Okay," but then Injuns come and Injuns steal the preacher. So Johnny Black's just like, "Oh shit. Well, I guess I'm on my own again." So old JB goes to the nearest town, and it turns out that was the town that the preacher was going to, because he was the town's new preacher. So he pretends that he's the preacher, and then the preacher shows up, and they have to pretend that they're each other, and hilarity ensues, but it really doesn't. This shit was fucking disappointing as hell. Nowhere near as funny as Black Dynamite at all. The shit was rated PG-13, and that's a pretty fucking soft PG-13. If that, I don't think I laughed at all. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes long for this not funny, supposed to be funny, weird parody movie that not good. But in the end, oh, the town fucking wins or whatever, and they all hold up beers, and for like 2 seconds you see Jim Brown and Fred Williamson holding up beers too, like ha, salute and shit. So I said, oh great, all right, at least there was that. Still can't recommend anybody fucking watch this, no matter how much of a blaxploitation or Michael Jai White fan you are. Michael Jai White doesn't really do any crazy karate man shit in it. Uh Not really funny, or it's not funny at all. It's just fucking long and kind of boring. So if you donated money to this, it's your fault. It's your fault.
And this came out this year.
It did. I don't think it's going to make a list because it had Fred Williamson in it, but it might get an honorable mention because it's fucking. Don't fucking go watch it out of curiosity or anything, Joe. You won't even like it. You might because it's boring and nothing happens, but no, don't. Very, very disappointed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tom, I watched a film on Netflix called Hurricane Season. And this is a Mexican film, Tom. And the description says, I don't know. So it starts out, Tom, is some kids are, they're going to go and play, I guess, in the river, but they find a dead body there. Well, let's flash back and see like what happened. Turns out this dead body is the local witch, Tom. And they're saying, oh, yeah, she, trafficked with the devil. She had a bunch of gold in her house, and she, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So then, we go and we're focused on this girl that's sitting in the, what the fuck happened in this movie? So she's sitting in the police station. She says, hey, I know who killed the witch. It was, my brother. You guys need to go arrest him, whatever. And they're like, well, what proof do you have? Well, no, I went to, he's gay. My brother's gay, and you need to go arrest him. I was like, well, what? Well, what are you talking about? Okay, so then it's going to switch scenes, Tom, because it's one of these movies that follows different characters, and it's all the same story, but from different perspectives. So then we're going to the brother and seeing what he's up to. Turns out, he just wants to, party. He wants to sing at parties, at the witch's parties, Tom, because it turns out the witch is not a she. It's just a person that would prefer to be called a she, but you know what I'm getting at. I don't want to step on any of the trans community's toes. Uh,
Why? Because they all have big feet?
maybe.
You fucking transphobe.
And let's
Oh,
see.
I don't want to walk around all these women with size 15s.
And then we switch to another character, and it's like a pregnant 14-year-old or something. She had to run away from home because her stepdad raped her or something. And she meets the young guy, and she hooks up with him.
Can't get pregnant twice.
And then all of a sudden, there's a scene where they're in the hospital, and he runs out. He goes, "Oh, this ain't my fault," or whatever. And then we see another scene with this old whore, and she was the pregnant girl out and took her to the witch for an abortion, because witches do that. But shit didn't work out right, Tom. Shit didn't work out right, and the girl was just bleeding all internally or whatever, and that's how that happened. And then we go to this other guy, and he's conflicted about his sexuality. And then hey, he's gay. He figures it out pretty quick when he lets this other guy suck his dick. And then he's freaking out, because he doesn't want to be gay, but he is. So he figures, hey, you know what? Let's go let's go rip off the money from that witch. And when they're doing that, they kill her, and that's who killed the witch. Is these two gay guys, and at the end, they're locked up and thrown in prison and beaten up because that's what the cops in Mexico do. They beat the fuck out of you, and then they throw you in the cell. And it kind of ends like that. It is yes, or Red. It is definitely a gay movie. So if gay people bother you, you definitely don't want to watch this movie. Uh,
Judging by the comments he was making, I
yeah.
would say yes, gay people do in fact bother him, but that's just speculation. And
Uh, this movie's very, very good. It uh, it's disturbing and depressing. It reminds me of like the first time I watched Kids before I grew up and realized, hey, that's not a good movie. Uh, Maybe I'll watch this in 10 years or so and decide it's not a good movie, but for now, I think it is. It may make a list. Hopefully, I see some other shit that bumps it off because I only have what? Do I have three? Yeah, I think I have three, and that's all we need, but I'm going to be
we
watching
need 5 and honorable mentions.
five. Fuck, okay. So, yeah, I still got some work to do. Uh, but yeah, this was definitely a powerful film, as they say, Tom. Not for everybody. Definitely not for everyone.
I was talking to you, Red. But I have 2 questions, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
You kept saying witch a lot and people going to find the witch and shit. Did anybody say we're off to the witch at all, maybe?
I said it a few times when they said they were going to go. I said, "We're up to the witch." Every
Woo! You're not going to finish?
no,
Okay. And my second
because
qu-
why? They.
and my second question was, did they kill the witch by dropping a house on her?
No, they choked that bitch out.
Uh, well, that's not how you kill a witch, Joe.
Yeah, and they hit her with something. I don't remember what it was lying around. wasn't a wasn't a hockey stick because they don't play hockey in Mexico. I don't know. Might have been a golf club.
Well, here's a question. You know a lot about witches being one at all. Sorry, warlock. Well,
Rest
you
in
know how
peace.
I'm sorry. You know how they say, "Oh, you splash a little water on a witch and they'll melt."
No.
Joe, I watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Uh,
This is the final Guardians of the Galaxy movie, or at least the final Guardians of the Galaxy movie directed by James Gunn, or the final Guardians of the Galaxy directed by James Gunn until he leaves DC and Marvel throws a bunch of money at him.
well, didn't they do a Christmas special or some shit too?
They did, Joe, and you know what I didn't watch? The Christmas special.
Oh, you will.
Nah, I'm good on that.
Yeah, you love the fuck
So,
bullshit.
I mean, again, you have watched more MCU movies than
Hmm,
I.
I don't know. I'll say this though: the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie I did enjoy. I thought it was good. The second one I thought was fucking horrendous and long, and it was just the stupid fucking Groot dancing around. Dumb shit.
Well, good. We're on the same page then. So after not liking the second movie, that fucking Kurt Russell ego shit, what a fucking waste. We could have had some cool visuals if it was actually like a living fucking planet with a mustache and shit,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. So I had my reservation, excuse me, going into this one, and that's why I just watched it now. Oh, it's the end of the year. I got to start watching these fucking movies. Well, I don't. I choose to do this, so I better start watching these movies. And I'm glad I did. This one was really good. It wasn't great. It was really good. A lot of the same old what you would expect from, a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Uh this one pretty simple, not some big earth ending thing or galaxy ending thing. Old Adam Warlock, not a great portrayal of the character at all. He Adam Warlock is more like a fucking henchman type character. And while he is powerful and shit, he's kind of like a bumbling goof, maybe. But maybe that's not the right way, but just kind of a fucking dildo. And he comes to nowhere, and that's where the Guardians of the Galaxy have their fucking new headquarters. Long story short, Rocket gets all fucked up. They try and save him, but it turns out he has a MacGuffin that was placed on his heart, Joe. And we see all these flashbacks about how Rocket Raccoon was like experimented on because this guy wanted to make the great species. He wanted to make the perfect being and shit. So he's making all these fucking cybernetic animals and fucking mutant animal creatures and shit like a Dr. Moreau in the future. So turns out that all this stuff that Rocket and his cybernetic animals were promised they were gonna fucking, be leaders of the new world and shit. No, that's all bullshit, and the guy's gonna fucking kill them all. So Rocket escapes and then he grows up to be fucking Rocket and shit. So now they got to go track this fucking guy down and get a password or something so they can get this shit off of his heart so they can save his life and all that shit. And it was pretty fucking good. There was a few times where it's like, man, they really want you to cry in this fucking movie. And I said, don't do it, fat boy. You're a fucking man. You cried in the fucking first movie. Don't fucking cry at this one. And I didn't until it got to the scene where they're all, standing around Rocket. He's about to fucking die and shit. And they do that thing where he goes up to fucking heaven or whatever and sees all his cybernetic buddies and shit. And I was like, oh, god damn. And a hot little tear ran down my fat fucking cheek. And it got me. God damn it. It got me.
Oh, you're a bitch.
Well, I mean, you're lucky that you've went this far in your life not having to be in a situation like that where somebody extremely close died in front of you when you're surrounded in a bed like that. Unfortunately, I had to deal with that a few times and it fucking sucks a dick, Joe. So they prey on those memories to get you in the feels and shit. So I mean it worked. It worked. The last one did get me. But that aside, like it was good. Like I was watching this and it was making me think like, yeah, man, this is kind of the shit that I liked when I liked Star Wars. This is good. It brought me back to I don't want to say nostalgic cuz the movie just came out, but I guess it made me nostalgic for liking my memories of liking Star Wars when I was a kid. So,
Uh,
this was good. It had a lot of creatures and different makeups and shit. Like, it was cool. It was good. I liked it. I liked it.
well, I'm liking the chat that's going on today. Keeping entertained and laughing. I'm glad you liked it, Tom. Did they play a bunch of old fucking 70s music yet again?
I mean, they played pop songs and shit. I think they played some 2000 stuff or something, but I never really remember what fucking songs they played or what. Like, I just watched that fucking musical, Dick's the Musical. I can maybe remember part of one song.
Is
So,
Groot all fucking stupid again and annoying as a character?
uh, no, he's like a hulking Groot in this one, not like in the first one where he was like a skinny, tall tree monster guy.
Right.
He's like a buff fucking I've been working out Groot. And at one point he gets decapitated and then he sprouts like spider legs and it's like a head crawling around with the spider legs. I mean, it's good shit. If you like fucking monsters and different creatures and shit like that, you might like it. I mean, you're a little pussy when it comes to animals and shit too. And they fucking prey on your emotions a lot with that. Like, oh, look what they're doing to those animals.
These are CGI animals. I could give.
I mean, still, dude, they get those eyes pretty good nowadays. And we'll get to that later, to those getting those CGI. Well, I mean, next week we will. But fucking
Do they
Cosmo's in it too.
fly against the wall, Tom?
They do.
Mm.
Of course they do. But old Cosmo's in it too. And I thought that was gonna be fucking bullshit, but god damn it, it's a fucking dog character doing shit to save the day. So I said, you Russian fuck, you're all right in my book, I guess. Yeah, it was good. You watched the other two. You might as well knock it the fuck out before the end of the year so it can make your worst of the year list. And
We will see. I still have to read 3. I may do.
Speed 3? Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck? They made a new Speed movie?
And not the band either.
I understand. You got to watch this movie to prove you're not racist. We get it.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm up. Let's see. What did I watch? Okay, Tom. I watched a movie that everybody's been talking about lately. They say, "Hey, you gotta watch this. This is the horror movie of the year."
Did you watch anything else?
No.
All right, hold on. Joe,
Yeah,
you ever heard of Milli Vanilli?
I have.
Let me know what you know about Milli Vanilli, because I think I was maybe 4 or 5 when all their shit happened.
Yeah. Milli Vanilli. They were a band, 2 guys that kind of dressed the same, and they did this little shuffle dance when they, kicking their legs from side to side when they, were singing their tunes. And they had what the fuck was the one song they had? Baby.
Girl, you know it's true. Blame it on the rain.
No, I think that was Orange Juice Jones that did that one. Uh, yeah, Milli Vanilli had some hits, and then it was exposed that hey, these guys are not singing these songs. They're just lip syncing. They're out there. They're pulling the wool over your eyes. They're bamboozling you. They're leading you astray. Uh, it's all a big con. And their careers were over after that.
So yeah, old Milli Vanilli. One of them was a Frenchman. The other one was a German. Didn't really speak much English. They were into like throwing parties and being a couple of tomatoes. They were into that scene, just like, oh yes, we're into fashion and dancing. We're gonna be pop stars. Oh yes, we're gonna be pop stars. So some fucking German producer guy, he found him and said, hey, we're gonna sign you to record contracts. But it turns out they weren't going to sing. They were just going to be the faces of this. They got 2 other black guys to like rap and sing. And then they got like a couple white broads to do the singing on the album. And so, they did all this stuff. And then it turns out, like you said, oh, they weren't really singing. So they were made laughing stocks and shit. Milli Vanilli, one of them, fucking started doing drugs and fucking killed himself on drugs. And the other one was like, you know what? I'm going to learn to sing and prove these people wrong. So then he becomes like an alternative rock singer for a little bit. And then in the end, we see him like accepting life and, he's an okay singer now, just singing Milli Vanilli songs that he didn't write or sing to fucking begin with. The end. Oh shit. If you're interested in Milli Vanilli at all, watch a YouTube video instead, because this shit was way too long and who really gives a fuck? This was like the fucking epitome of just, oh yeah, let's make content and just slap it out on whatever streaming service so we have something new for the week.
So when he accepts life as it is and everything, did they show him like walking and then like staring out at the skyline or whatever?
Yeah, he lives in Amsterdam now with his white wife and kids, so everything worked out for him, I guess. Yeah, it was. He's a talker like this because he's little moosh moosh guy. So it's like you can imagine fucking the time these people like going on fucking Leno or whatever, trying, so you guys are singers, right? Oh, yes, we sing all great American music. And people had to be like, what the fuck? So yeah, it was, I mean, who gives a fuck? It's a story of whatever. So yeah, it's a very fucking average, middle of the road, who gives a fuck shit, but never get that time back that I spent watching it. Fuck. Hey Joe, you watch anything?
Hey Tom, I watched a movie that a lot of people on social media have been saying, "Hey, this is the best horror movie of the year. Hey, there hasn't been a horror movie like this in a long time." And usually when I hear shit like that, I'm reluctant to watch cuz people don't like the shit that I like, you know. People are, they would like a lot of, fluffy bullshit and but I said, "Well, I got to watch it, cuz it's 2023 and we'll see." And the movie's called No One Can Save You, and it is a
Oh
Shudder movie
shit.
in conjunction with IFC. And no, I'm not gonna fucking wait and not start again, Tom. Um, wait. All right. So, not as many people were actually telling me about this, but some did say, "Oh, this is a crazy movie." Man. Anyway, this is about a girl, Tom, that she sits around in her house and she like dances by herself, all happy, and she makes crafts and stuff. She makes like dresses and um, like those little village, little like towns that light up at night and shit. And she goes into town and she's like reluctant to see anybody, especially this couple, like this cop and I guess his wife. I don't know, but she like ducks down so they won't see her, and goes back home. And in the middle of the night, Tom, oh shit, there's some noise, there's some lights, there's a fucking alien there. A gray. You know what a gray is, Tom?
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. I think everybody knows what a gray is, and this
It's
is
those
the
guys Red don't like.
yeah, yeah. Uh, so this gray is chasing her around the house, and I don't know what he's planning to do, maybe rape her or whatever, but she ends up killing it. Okay, so no big deal. uh, she's going into town to try to tell everybody about this, and turns out like townspeople are kind of different. They're acting kind of weird. Maybe they've been taken over, maybe their brains have been washed out by these grays. And so she goes back home the next night. Uh, a bigger gray comes after her, and this thing's, like moves so quick, Tom, like fucking fast, except when it's chasing after this girl. She can outrun it, outmaneuver it, which is real stupid. Real goddamn stupid. The aliens are CGI aliens, they're not the latex or whatever, because nobody uses that shit anymore. CGI is the way of things, and but they didn't have money for good CGI. And anyway, I don't know. The aliens start freaking out, like seeing like, what's this girl all sad about? They want to know. They finally abduct her and they probe her mind. Turns out she's been living in guilt, Tom, because she killed her best friend when she was a child. And, she's ostracized herself. So at the end of the movie, the aliens have taken over the world, but they let her keep her personality, but everybody else is a zombie, a drone or whatever the fuck. And she gets to live out her fantasy world, she gets to dance around while she's the only one, It's stupid. It's really goddamn stupid. Uh yeah, this, I don't know, man. Just fucking dumb.
And this was what, a Hulu movie?
It's Hulu. Yeah.
Oh, all right, because when you started, you said something about IFC and
Yeah.
Shudder and
Yeah, had it all fucked up. Yeah, this came out, I guess, around Halloween, in October, early October, and there were a few people talking about it, saying how clever it was and how the ending, really makes you think. No, it didn't. It made me think it's a piece of shit, but that's about it. It's, mm, skip it, skip it.
will do, mate. Let me ask you a question there, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
You watched anything?
Yeah, I watched the movie, Tom. A bunch of people have been talking about, on the social medias. They've been saying, "Hey, this is the horror movie to end all horror movies, the best horror movie of the year." And people, Tom, they tend to be pretty dumb most of the time, but goddamn, every once in a while they get the shit right, Tom. They're talking about this new movie, an IFC and Shudder combination. It's called No One. Wait, when it's called When Evil Lurks. Oh, I'm in a fucking time loop. I can't get out. Uh, this movie, Tom, is about well, I guess it's an alternate reality, an alternate Earth or whatever. Let's call it Earth D. Um,
Let's not. Let's just say it's Earth and this is happening.
okay,
Because that's not mentioned at all in the movie.
it is. They say, "Hey, this is not Earth. This is the other Earth."
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish.
I know. They said that's pretty early on in the film, so you probably forgot, Tom, or you went to the bathroom, as you tend to do during all the movies. And anyway, so in this, well, we're on a farm, right? And there are two brothers that live there in a farm, and they hear gunfire at night. They like, well, fuck, we need to go out and see what the hell that's all about. When they're searching, they find a dude's body all torn up. Well, what the fuck? This is on so and so's land. Let's, go and see what's going on at this house. There's a lady
Ruiz.
and a kid there. And I say, hey, are you gonna, we got what's his name back here, Uriel, and he's possessed. So what? They go check him out, and Uriel's he's just a bloated mass of shit. He's possessed by a demon, Tom.
He turned into a slither creature.
Yeah. So they're thinking, well, we got to get the fuck out of here because demons, when somebody's possessed, it can spread like the plague, Tom. It can give everybody like evil thoughts and like do crazy shit. And they can't have anything that's come in contact with them. They got to get rid of their clothes, all that. This
Or
guy's,
it doesn't.
yeah,
It's just, whenever they want it to.
this guy's got kids and he wants to get them and get them out of there too, but he's also divorced and has had problems, whatever. So he goes to get the kids, but like what was it they got? I don't know. Maybe his clothes. I don't remember. The dog starts lifting his clothes, so the dog gets possessed and bites a girl in the head and runs off with her. And they gotta go. It's just they're on the run, Tom. They're on the run. They find this other lady they hole up with, and she's one of the exorcists of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if she was so much of a lady as much as she was a Ronnie James Dio impersonator there, Joe.
Um, and so they're doing their confrontation with they got to find the Uriel's body again because they tried to get rid of it and that didn't work out for them, Tom. And shit's just going bad for everybody. And I liked this movie. Thought it was really good. I thought it built tension, and I like occult fucking movies, and I like movies that have a bleak ending. That like, hey, you're fucked. That's the way horror movies should be. It shouldn't be all happy go lucky. You want to make a comedy, go make a fucking comedy. Go watch Beetlejuice or something like some kind of. Yeah, this is a good movie. I dig it. It is on my list, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna stay there, Tom. But this is definitely not a movie for you. I don't recommend that you watch it. There's no fart jokes or anything. There's no like little creatures running around. The kind of shit that you like, the horror that you like, Tom. That's not this.
There are little creatures running around, Joe. There are possessed children, so that would technically be little creatures.
Technically.
But yeah, this movie like wants to say something, but it really doesn't. And the whole oh man, this old evil possession, it'll get you. Watch out. It's like COVID. If you come in contact with it, it'll get you or it won't. It's kind of pick and choose and do whatever and just so a movie will happen. For some reason you can't kill these possessed people with guns for some reason, just because no, just we'll just write it in there to where you can't use guns. Why? Who knows? But they gotta have a cleaner, they call them, come and exorcise these demons with like magical flutes or whatever, which they don't really explain that shit. I don't know. There's some ideas there that could work, like the scene where old Ruiz, he's like the landowner that this family, their son's possessed, and he turns into like this big fat slither monster or like a big fat sicko from Planet Terror. And kind of weird. I guess it's supposed to be like festering biblical imagery or whatever. So there's a scene where old Ruiz is on his farm with his wife, and the wife's just like, Mios Dios, the goat's possessed. So old fucking Ruiz, or if that's even his name, I can't remember. He's gonna shoot this fucking goat, and then the goat walks up and puts his fucking head on the barrel of the gun. Like that was fucking awesome. If the movie was like more creepy, like, yeah, do it, fucker, shit like that, it would be pretty cool, but not a whole lot worked for me. You got this shit where this fucking demon's like possessing children or something. It's a whole lot of nothing. And then I guess we're supposed to be like, ooh, the demon possessed a special needs child. Ooh, I can't believe it. That's so edgy. And oh, it's creepy that he can like walk and talk now. I can't. Okay. It was just, it had some good ideas, but wasn't really executed too well. And it was just kind of slow and boring. The gore and effects and stuff like that, there were some in it, but a lot of it was CGI. Like old Ruiz gets hit in the face with an axe, and that All right. And then the lady hitting herself in the face with an axe. It was like all CG shit. And it was, yeah, I wanted to like it because I like some IFC shit, as we talked about before. But this was also a Shudder thing. And unfortunately, this was a little too Shudder for me. But yeah, it fucking felt like a A24 Evil Dead movie. I couldn't get into it at all.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't a movie I thought, after I watched it and I liked it so much, I thought, Tom won't like this. And like when you're saying like why does this, happen, or why don't they explain this? Because it's common in this world that they created. This is just fucking, hey, so everybody knows. So they don't have time to explain to Tom why they do this. One thing that I feel like makes the whole thing fall apart, if you stop and think about it, it's like, hey, if this is commonplace and they know how dangerous it is, why didn't they fucking send somebody to take care of this guy that was possessed when they said they reported it like a year early? If it's such a big fucking deal, they would have sent somebody, right? You know? Uh, so that, yeah, if you stop and think about shit, you can fucking find holes in any movie, though. All of them will fall apart because they're fucking fiction, you know? This isn't real shit, If you stop and think about it, Tom, that's like, well, this guy was trying to make the perfect, animal species or whatever. Why is he starting with, that's probably not going to happen in real life, Tom. They got more to explain and to do, I guess. Uh, but yeah, I highly recommend this movie if you're like a person that likes horror movies. Not Tom. Tom likes horror comedy. He doesn't like fucking horror movies. Uh, Check this out. You will not be disappointed. I don't think. Yeah, I know not everybody's gonna like it. Not shit. If you do or you don't, I did, and it's making my list.
I guess what you're saying is if you like movies that make you stop and think, this one isn't for you. I understand.
Tom doesn't like to stop
I do.
it.
I co-host a podcast where we stop, think, and talk about movies. We're almost at 400 fucking episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. It's not actually a circle at all.
It's free if you have Shutter. Red. I don't know. We get it. We have like what do we have on Amazon
Amazon, I
Prime?
would assume.
We have Amazon, but we also had like an add-on of AM.
Shutter or AMC Plus.
Yeah, AMC Plus, and that gives you all the Shutter shit.
And that's slightly cheaper if you do AMC Plus. There's a plan with ads.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to subscribe to a streaming thing, just pay the extra dollars. You don't have to watch fucking ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have Amazon Prime and you never used your Shutter free trial, my mom didn't. That's how I saw this one. Hey, mom, I gotta fucking hit me up with your account information so I can unsubscribe you from this shit. But yeah, I was fucking about to pay for that shit, and I said, wait a second. I think there's a way I can watch this without fucking paying for it.
And that's the way to go on everything,
No, that's not the way to go on everything.
Pay for any of these movies. Just fucking, if you're paying for a streaming service, fine, but don't like go to like, hey, let me pay $5.99 or whatever to watch it. Fuck that. These movies are already made. They don't need your money. Fuck them.
If you don't pay for some stuff, shit won't get made.
Yeah,
So
fuck it. There's too many movies in fuck all the herd, man.
pick and choose. That's what I say. And if you pick and choose on some and you liked it, Hey, maybe go out and buy the Blu-ray or something. See, there's ways to support stuff without having to dish out everything. Is I guess what I'm trying to say. But don't just fucking steal everything. But I understand sometimes you need to feed your family. So yeah, as Joe said, when evil lurks, what a piece of shit. Hey Joe, are you a millionaire boy?
The Millionaires Boys Club. God damn, Tom. Belly 2. I really didn't want to watch it after watching that piece of shit Belly. What a fucking lousy movie.
Such a racist. God
It
damn.
sucked. But, I picked this fucking, 2 movie series, so I gotta watch it. What can I do? And
I'll be back.
put it on. And who do I see in the credits? Michael K. Williams, who is a tremendous actor. You know him probably from The Wire, where he played Omar. He was in Boardwalk Empire, played Chalky White. What else is he in? A lot of shit, and he's always good. Hap and Len, which was one of my favorite series, based on the Joe R. Lansdale books. But this one, it's doesn't have that fucking idiot that directed the first one. I already forgot his Hype Williams. Doesn't have him. It doesn't have the guy, from the first movie, Naz, as I like to call him, doesn't have him in it. It doesn't follow his exploits like he comes back from Africa or anything. No, this just follows a different guy altogether. And
This is a name only sequel.
mhm. So it follows this guy that's done an 8-year stretch in prison.
His name is G.
Gee. He gets out and according to his parole, he has to find a job, and he's trying. He goes to the local pet store, see if they're hiring, goes to the Korean, a convenience store, see if they're hiring. Nobody wants to hire an ex-con, you know. So what's he got to do? Go back to crime. Go back to ripping off other drug dealers, taking their drugs and selling it out of the ice cream truck that they had. And
That they stole from drug dealers.
yeah, him and his buddy Michael K. Williams are taking over the streets again, and turns out that he's met a lady too, and seems really nice. This is Lisa from Coming to America, and but she's starting to develop feelings for him. But she's a good girl, Tom. She's a college student, and it's like, well, I don't know about this guy. What is it that you do for a living? And we go from the relationship back to him doing hardcore gangster shit, and blowing people up with his guns that he had hidden away, and he had buried some guns before he went to prison, but now he's got these guns back, and he's gonna use them, motherfucker. He is gonna use them, and he's got to deal with corrupt cops, all kinds of shit, and it turns out that his lady is an undercover cop too, Tom. You just can't trust anybody in this drug game. Damn. I like this. It was everything that the first movie should have been. It had a story primarily, which the first one fucking didn't. It had better music. It had better tits. It had a real actor in Michael K. Williams. Uh, and it had corrupt cops, and it had the raza in it, man. That's right. You don't mess with the Mexican drug dealers. They will come and fuck you up. And that's what they did until he killed them. And, it was sad ending for that. But I dug it. Belly 2, give it a watch. The Millionaires Boys Club.
So this is a very poorly made movie all around. This is you know, Belly wasn't, this giant multi-million dollar production, but they had a few million. Belly 2 had about $3,500 budget. Uh,
And managed to make a better movie than Belly, which is crazy.
a movie for a different audience. I think that or I should say I feel that this is the movie that you were hoping that Belly 1 would be. When you're on Tubi, you were just like, "Oh, where's something I can really show my racism to?" And it was Belly 2. It it's just it's a very, very poorly made, cheap movie. It's like I said, it's in a name only sequel. This could definitely be an entertaining movie in the right circumstances. Like if you're having a bad movie night and you're gonna sit around with buddies and watch this shit and drink, it's gonna be fucking great. But I couldn't get into it. I don't know why. Well, because it was embarrassing, Joe. I think that's why. Like sometimes I can be like, oh shit, this is embarrassingly bad, but I don't know. There was just something here that wasn't doing it for me. I and it's not because I like the first Belly so much. Like at first when I put this on, I was shocked at how fucking bad it was. But the game, I think he was like in some beef with 50 cents because one wanted to have sex with the other or something, maybe. I'm not sure. Never listened to his fucking music. Couldn't like name a song or anything, but he sucked a dick as an actor. Everybody in this movie sucked a dick as an actor. Like his buddy he got out of jail with. I've seen that guy before. He's like a name actor, but he knew what he was in. He was just phoning it in, just collecting his check. Like it was bullshit. Like old G, he's trying to walk tough while he's firing this wacky ass gun and he just looks like a prick. Uh yeah, a lot of it would be good if you're with friends drinking and watching bad movies, but
Well, this is a movie you would want to watch with friends. Not, I mean, the first
sure.
Belly you wouldn't want to watch with fucking.
I
Uh,
don't want to tell anybody I watched it.
and then yeah, everybody here definitely outacts anybody in the first Belly. It's just like erase that movie from your memory and just call this one Belly, the Millionaire Boys Club. Like this is the only one in the series, and then you'll be all right. We'll all be all right. We'll all be better for it, I think. And as saying that, oh, it looks so cheap, I feel that that's just professional jealousy on your part. Independent directors, let me tell you guys, fucking hate each other and hate each other's work. You know, it, what a petty.
You hear that, Amityville Hood guy? Oh shit. I felt bad about all that shit I said, so I fucking made that video private. Oh shit. Yeah. I mean, probably another different time watching this a different way, I would have got a laugh out of it, but this shit was a goddamn slog to get through, and I did not enjoy myself at all. Fucking old G has like all these shitty fucking prison tattoos all over him, and he goes to see a social worker. She's like, "Oh shit, those are really good. Did you do them yourself? You should go to art school." He doesn't even have a job. How's he going to pay for art school? And do you go to art school to do tattoos? No.
I don't know. You go to art school to be unemployed.
Yep. So yeah, he was halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, he was all the way there and didn't even have to go into debt. Fuck. Well, at least there's not a Belly 3. So Joe, I'm gonna take this opportunity to go out of genre like you did, because I think this will be my only chance, Joe. And you know it had to happen sooner or later. I just didn't think it would. But hey, mate, we're gonna go to jolly old England by way of Peru, if you don't mind. And we're gonna watch some nice CGI animal eyes, Joe, with the old Paddington movies. 1 and 2. I think one's on Amazon and the other's on Netflix, or switched around someplace. And maybe after this, we'll get more into the genre fare. But for now, I'm seizing the opportunity.
All right.
I can't wait. But let me ask you this, Joe.
Hmm.
You like Spider-Man? Fuck! I didn't read Spider-Man.
That's okay. I think this is issue 180. This is old Rocket Racer story. The guy that he was shaking down for money goes to the old tinkerer and says, "Hey, this guy's shaking me down." "Oh, right, yeah, I know him. I built his skateboard and whatever." He says, "Yeah, I need you to build me something so I can deal with him." Anyway, the doctor gets on Peter Parker's ass, telling him, "Hey, what the fuck, dude? You need to be here for your aunt. You know, she's not doing well. Like, quit being such a bitch and come and take care of her." And Peter feels bad about it. He's waiting for Mary Jane to respond to his proposal too. And so he does. He goes to the hospital, and who's there but Rocket Racer is there with his mom, because they put his mom in the same room with Aunt May, and Spidey's spider sense goes off before he goes in the room, so he fucking throws on the suit real quick, busts in, like, well, shit, you know, the guy's not in his costume or anything, but he's still thinking, you know, hey, how did Spider-Man's find me? And Aunt May is like, oh, it's that dreadful Spider-Man's, and she starts fucking having another attack and everything. Everybody starts fighting. The cops come in, and he has to fight the cops. They finally take the fight outside, and who rolls up? Old Wheeler, the guy that went to the Tinkerer, and the Tinkerer made him a big wheel that he's driving in, and this wheel can run over anything and shoot lasers and shit. And well, I mean, Spider-Man stops the both of them. Well, no, the Rocket Racer dude gets away, but old Wheeler takes the wheel and it fucking goes into the, I don't know what rivers there in New York, but he drowns. He fucking dies. And Spider-Man goes back to the hospital, and the doctor's, "Hey, you fuck, we moved your aunt to fucking intensive care, and nobody can see her. She's in critical condition, you stupid fuck." And yeah, it actually is your fault this time. You know, Spider-Man's or whatever. Mary Jane shows up and she says, "Hey, you know, I don't want to get fucking married. I don't want to settle down. There's so many guys out there, and I got a lot of fucking to do." So she gives him back the ring and says, "Adios, motherfucker." And that's the end of the issue. the art looks better. Bob McLeod came in and did the inks on it, and makes it look different. Some of the panels look pretty good, but still not great because it's still fucking Ross Andrew. Uh, Weird issue. Fucking weird. That's that.
Sorry, dog.
Sorry.
That's like the second time in 3 weeks. I apologize. My
Yeah,
bad.
I've caught you all up, Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh,
But still, I let you down. So
he,
sorry.
he goes back to his apartment and somebody's waiting there for him. Who?
Shashan?
We don't fucking know because that's the cliffhanger.
Oh,
Apartment. I don't know.
all right. I hope it's Shashan.
Mhm.
Hey, Joe, you like lists?
List 4? Yeah, I
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, Tom wanted us to go through and do our top uses for eggs. And at number 5, if they're dinosaur eggs, you'd put them in a museum. Did you see any of those while you were there at the museum, Tom?
I think I saw fake ones.
Mm,
I don't think I saw any actual real dinosaurus eggs.
put them in museums, you see.
It's a good one. Well, my number 5 is putting eggs in something too. And it's putting eggs back inside the chicken, you see, because they should have some dignity.
Mm. At number 4, you lend them to neighbors, Tom, when they need an egg. You know, maybe they're making a cake or something. They just, oh, I don't have any eggs. Let me call the old neighbor and, hey, can I borrow 3 eggs from you? They're never going to bring them back. They're never going to pay you back on the eggs. Just consider that a wash. Say, hey, don't worry about it. Here's some fucking eggs.
And that's a use you like when your neighbors come. Oh shit, hey, did you come over for some eggs?
I keep, those little half dozen eggs, the ones with just 6 of them. I keep that just for when neighbors need eggs, Tom.
I never restock them until they're all gone. So they might be 8 years old, but yeah, I got you on some
Yeah,
eggs.
go.
Might taste like space food, but it's still good. Joe, my fourth favorite thing to do with eggs is throwing them. You ever throw an egg?
I have.
It's fun. Would recommend.
At number 3, you can play games with them, competitive games like the egg toss. Tom, ever been in an egg toss?
No, you can't say I have.
You have a partner across from you, and you toss the egg, and they catch it. Then you step back a little farther, and they toss it back. Then you step back a little far, and a bunch of these people do that. You're all lined up, and whoever's the last one, with the egg still unbroken, that's the winner.
Did you ever do that, Joe?
Yes, I've been in an egg toss before.
Was it fun?
It was all right.
Well, Joe, my number 3 is eating them. You can crack them open like I did earlier, mix it in with some ground beef, spices, breadcrumbs, make some meatballs. You can make a little corned beef hash, pop some eggs on there. Maybe you want to make some crepes, Joe. You need eggs. So eating them.
At number 2, filling them with confetti and then breaking them on somebody's head, Tom. The old Easter tradition among Hispanics. They're called cascarones.
So what's the process?
What do you mean?
how do you, get the old yolk and white of the egg out and fill it with confetti?
You break just the top of it off, and get the egg out like that. Then you can rinse it out. Then you fill it with confetti.
And it's not, you got to do it like very, very delicately so you don't. Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I'm not even allowed to pet kittens.
Hmm.
So I don't think I could stuff an egg very delicately with confetti. I'm not a gentle lover.
Hmm.
Number 2. Yes. Ah. Wait, what? Shit. Well, my number 2 is actually my number 3, and it's telling people to suck them. Hey, Joe, go suck an egg.
At number one, I have one that a lot of people on social media have been talking about, telling them, hey, this is the best use for eggs that I've seen in 2023, and that is throwing them, Tom. Especially at like cars, you know, fuck up their paint a little, at the truckers when they're, on by, awesome, fucking swerve and wreck and shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't throw him at trucker. You might get a fucking jug of piss hurling your way.
Oh, uh, yeah, it's egg in cars, Tom.
Did you do that as a child or
It
maybe
is a
this past
small town
weekend?
tradition, I think.
Oh, my number 1. Did I mention shoving the eggs back up the chicken's pussy?
You did.
Well, that was my number 1 joke.
Hmm.
The old David Letterman joke.
Hmm.
But that's all right. What are we doing next week? You'll let
Uh,
me know?
oh,
Okay.
movies with a shape in the title. That's the name of the movie Triangle.
Oh, shit. Everybody, dwnproductions.net, masks, bus, props, custom work, and soon cups, maybe. I got to get on ordering that shit. But yeah, you're not going to get anything until the Black Friday sale. So get ready for that shit. I'll be bringing back 5 fucking pieces out of retirement. They will be not part of the sale. Well, they will be part of the sale. They just won't be on sale, unlike all the other stuff that's up on the site that will be 33% off. So save them pennies and give them to me in a couple weeks. Yosef.
FastCustomShirts.com. I am working on a new shirt for Black Exploitation Friday, the annual sale that I have on. I decided to do it again, yet another year, and yeah, if not, just go to the site and order some other shit. We're still fairly busy, but we'll get it knocked out and sent to you. Whatever.
Everybody, thanks again. Hope you have a fucking great week. Hey, I hope your last week was great. I'm sorry I didn't ask you at the beginning of this how your week was, but Joe's a little bit more important because I can hear him, you see. But you're all the same in my hearts. So, everybody, thank you. Have a great week or the best one you. Jesus Christ, that goddamn space food. Fuck it. Boy gob.